All right. Happy Sunday and welcome to another week of Unfeathered's Career Files. As you may know or may not know, my name is Justin Thomas, aka The Job Father, getting you the offer you can't refuse. And I am a co founder of Unfeathered, where we rise together.
Hey everyone, my name is Netta. I am the founder of Unfeathered. I think my lovely co-founder Justin just introduced himself. What I do for a living is I am a release manager lead at a financial firm. I just wanted to also make the statement that anything that I say is not a representation of the company I work for. These are purely my statements. So, thank you everybody for joining us today. We are super excited for today's topic. We are experimenting with a new approach.
Mhm.
Would love to hear your feedback, and we are a work in progress. We are building this community together, including with the help of our moderators and two of our great friends that we wanted to give a huge shout out to,
Mhm.
Raul Katse
Mhm.
and Jessica Tapia. Thank you so much for the time that you're spending with us on calls and including on Spaces co-hosting with us. It means the world. We also want to give a huge shout out. We said last week we are looking for for volunteers in the community. We have gotten an overflow of people that have offered to help.
Mhm.
We are still looking for help. We'll give you all more details along as we go through this live stream. But I don't want to take time away from everyone who have been waiting for the content that we have to share today. So we'll jump straight into that. But we wanted to give gratitude and thanks to the people who have offered to volunteer and to Jessica and Raul for their time that they have spent with us. Uh, guiding us and co-hosting spaces with us. Co-hosting with us. So let's start, Justin.
All right,
Super
great.
excited for today's topic.
I'm super excited as well, but I do have to take at least 30 to 40 seconds to say something else, guys. Listen, thank you so much for your support so far. Thank you to those who have joined every session, or whether you've joined it live or rewatched it. We thank you so much. We are building this community. Unfeathered, the theme is we rise together. This past week, or the last 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks ago, Netta went to an in-person conference, and this past week, I went to an in-person. Excuse me. Ooh, in-person conference. And one thing I learned this past week is that you definitely need community to be successful. You can't do it yourself. And our theme, I can't say it enough, is that we rise together. So whether you're watching this on YouTube, X, LinkedIn, or Facebook, please follow us on LinkedIn specifically. We're really trying to build the community via LinkedIn. Give us a follow, give us a shout out. If anything you hear today or have heard in the past resonates, please give us a share that so that you can share it with your community and we can continue to rise together. Okay, so like Netta said, today we're trying a new format. We're going to try to you'll see we're going through a PowerPoint as well as keeping the fireside chat available. So please, if you have any questions, feel free to jump into the chat, ask any questions. Netta will definitely be moderating the chat and stopping us when we need to fulfill those or to answer those questions. So again, welcome to another episode of Unfeathered Career Files live stream. Today, we are going to be talking about. Oops, excuse me, went too far. We are going. Ooh, we are going to be talking about brand your comeback, rewrite it, rebuild, and rise. Right. So,
And can I
if
just jump in and say something right now?
of course,
All right. Well, you just noticed a technical snafu.
of
And
course.
as you are rising, the technical snafus, they will happen. So, part of rewriting, rebuilding, and rising is embracing the imperfections and the hurdles that come across the way. But let's reposition the perspective. It's not a hurdle, it's a learning opportunity. So I just wanted to mention that because it is very, very relevant to the topic. So go ahead, Justin. Sorry
Uh,
for interrupting.
No, don't never be sorry. This is a conversation, guys. And even when you're rebuilding and rewriting your comeback, obstacles will come, and how you overcome them is what makes you stand out, right? So if you're feeling stuck, invisible, or burned out by a version of your career that no longer fits, this is the live session for you. This will help turn your setbacks into your next strategy. Okay. So I want to talk about the breakdown behind the breakthrough. If you've ever stared at your LinkedIn profile and was just thinking, this is not me, this is no longer who I am, right? This show is for you. Reinvention isn't failure, it's a strategy, and you need strategy to be successful. Burnout doesn't just come from overwork, it comes from misalignment with your priorities, your ethics, and your goals that you have, right? You can,
And your identity.
boom, as Sean Charles would say, and your identity. You can outgrow your job title, your niche, and even your resume, right? So, that burnout moment, how did you know it was time to reinvent yourself? And I'll start by answering that myself. I've been an executive recruiter for over 15 years, and I've always been an internal recruiter, meaning working as a global talent acquisition manager or director for many companies, focusing on the sales and go to market side of things. But 3 years ago, just like many other people around the world, I was laid off. And it came unexpectedly. I was doing a great job. It had nothing to do with my capabilities or skill sets as a recruiter, everything to do with the job market. And for me, when I got laid off, even though I was doing everything right, that was the time where I decided it was time to reinvent myself. Now, for me, that reinvention wasn't a career change per se. It wasn't going to another profession, but it was a transition to reinvent myself into a business owner, into being my own boss, into stepping out and starting my own firm, which is scary, right? Because you're going from that every 2 week paycheck to really having to hustle and grind and do things yourself, as well as rebranding myself and reinventing myself as the job father. So me being laid off, even though I was doing everything right, uh, and working my butt off, that is what caused me to realize, hey, it's definitely time to reinvent yourself, Justin. And it was scary, right, Netta? I maybe you don't want to.
Yeah.
Maybe you may not have a time where you had to reinvent yourself, but have you ever
Oh,
just been that
I've
person?
reinvented myself a ton of times, my friend, and I don't mind sharing.
Go
But
ahead.
I just need to jump in for a second, and I'm dying to hear the story of where the Jawfather was born, the
Hmm.
idea.
Hmm.
But I just wanted to kind of add some context. Folks are wondering, probably, because I was when I first saw this. I just want to give full credit to Justin. He's leading the discussion today, and the burnout moment, how is that related to self like reinventing yourself,
Mm,
right?
mm,
How is that related? Because when you're in a period in your life where you're all over the place, you're seeking direction, as with the previous slide, you're outgrown your role. You can you go back to the previous slide, please, if you don't mind?
of course, of course.
Thank you, Justin.
Hmm.
So the things that he talked about, it doesn't come from working too many out. Burnout can come from that. But when you don't have direction, when you feel like you've outgrown your role and everything else in this slide, that's cognitive load.
Mm,
That's you using your processing power of your brain in overdrive, and that feeling of confusion, lack of direction, and everything else. Can you please go to the next slide? Thank you. That leads to the burnout. So that's a consequence. Lack of direction, not knowing where your brand is going, not knowing who you are anymore. Um, the brand is a part of your identity.
mm.
It's a part of who you are, but it's also being very selective about what part of yourself you want to divulge to the public. And we'll go to that after, but I just wanted to kind of set some context about why we are bringing the burnout into the discussion. So, Justin, I just also wanted to acknowledge two people from LinkedIn. We are live streaming, by the way, everyone, from X and LinkedIn and YouTube. So we have Scott here who asked a very good question. Does your team use psychometric tools to help rebrand people's as real skills or rewrite with truth and proof of it? I don't know if that's a question for hiring
Yes.
managers or for you, but I would love to hear Scott respond to that in the comments. And Austin, hello, we see you. Thank you so much for your comment. Appreciate you. Hello.
Hey,
But keep
Austin,
those
can we go?
comments coming.
Can we go
Yeah,
back to
let's continue.
Scott's? Go back to Scott's question real quick. Can you
Yes, sure.
bring it up on the screen? All
Yes, of
right.
course.
Hey, Scott. Hey, Scott, man. I'm glad you're joining us. I see all the things you're doing, man. So thank you for interacting with us and engaging us this morning. Does your team use psychometric tools to help rebrand people's real skills or rewrite with truth and proof of fit? So, as a career coach, I do not use psychometric tools. I have other people on my teams. I'm not a psychiatrist. Okay. I do not, I am not skilled nor educated in that field to provide that service. So I wouldn't want to lead somebody down a path that I don't absolutely know. So the answer to your question, Scott, for me is no, but I do have people on my team that when my clients get to that point in their transition, or if they're at that point in their transition, that I have people on my team who I can send them to, right? Or in my community that I can send them to. You do bring up a great point. If you get a chance, comment some more about a little bit of background behind it, and we can get to it a little later. But I do want to talk. I came back to this slide because burnout doesn't just come from overwork. A lot of people. I am a hustler. Okay, I do not mind working. When I was an internal recruiter, sometimes I worked 80-hour weeks, but I didn't mind because I loved what I did. Right. But like Netta said, when that position no longer aligns with me personally and what I care to be doing, that's when that burnout comes. Now, it can come from overwork. It totally can. But I don't want you to think that that's the only thing it comes from, right? For me, it really comes from the misalignment. That's where that burnout comes. Everybody needs a work-life balance, and that's also a misalignment. Now, Netta did ask, I shared I shared it was a time for me to reinvent myself. Netta, did you want to share or you wanted me to keep going?
I will share.
Go ahead.
I'll talk about my past. Many of you know me from The Hunt, recently on Feathered, on X in particular. And for many years, especially in 2023 and fall, people started calling me a connector. And I felt at the time incredibly misaligned because I was going through building up my confidence of speaking, of hosting social audio rooms, of being more vocal. And the misalignment was I didn't want to accept that. So I had some people along the way that really guided me, like YK, Suki, like Sean Charles, like Kanika Tolver, Arit. I got a lot of guidance as well from Lawrence, people, Danny Thompson, people I look up to that they didn't speak to me directly, but I was watching what they were doing and I observed. With time, and that's a part of realignment and reinvention, part of that process comes with accepting what people are telling you and of the feedback that you're hearing over and over and over, whether it's people giving you flowers, people recognizing talent that you have that you're still taking time to process. So that's a part of the reinvention process, and I'm going a little bit ahead, so I'll pace myself, but I just wanted to make that share that I finally it took me 3 months when I was actually heading to Seattle with my friend Jonaid Iqbal, and, I was rebranding on the bus. And he's a phenomenal career coach like yourself, and I asked him, I'm like, "This is what I'm hearing. What should I do?" He's like, "Embrace it." And that's when I started to change at the time the header to my LinkedIn, and I've made several brand pivots since, uh, to the connector. I gave myself that title. So, thanks. Also,
No,
I gotta give credit where it's due to Justin Results French and, Rohith Kalior, because they gave me some guidance as well. Thanks.
no, thank you, Netta. Thank you for sharing. Netta asked me, a little earlier about where did the job father come from. So as I reinvented myself to be a job owner or a company owner, right, and be my own boss, as an executive recruiter. I do own a recruiting firm by the name of Executive Inquest. So if you're watching and you're an HR leader or a director or in a hiring manager and your recruiting team is not moving fast enough, hire us, Executive Inquest, and we will fill your positions fast. Shameless plug, but I had to. But as I was doing that, and over the last 2.5 years, millions of people have been laid off. And a lot of those people are in my network and in your network, right? So as people are coming to me as a recruiter saying, hey, Justin, can you help me, with my resume, help me figure out how to get a job? I started to do it just offhand, and it started working. And one day, a group of my friends who I had helped collectively were like, hey, man, call Justin. He's like the fairy job father, right? And I was like, well,
The fairy job father?
yes.
You should have taken the
No, Netta, you don't listen to
Fairy-
the story. Listen to the
fairy
story.
job father. Oh my! I'm gonna pick on you with that.
You did pick on me, Netta, and I'm going to tell the audience this. This was back in So back in January, I told Netta this story. I don't know if she remembers when we first connected, because she asked me. I was like, "Well, the fairy job father." She was like, "You should use it." I was like, "I am not for that reason." But
Well, you said it in the public. Oh my god.
Yes. So I do. I also have Alexis Confer. I worked with her on the 2012 campaign. She's an amazing person out of New York. If you're watching this, she's the original fairy godmother when it comes to politics, because she wouldn't teach you how to get jobs, but she was just the connector and could get you in the door, right? So when I heard that, I said, well, I like the job father, right? I like the job father getting you the offer you can't refuse. So I kind of stuck with it, and I started to kind of brand and categorize and create or curate a job search process based on my experience, and it worked. So that reinvention, that kind of reinvented myself from just a recruiter into a career strategist. I won't say coach, I will say career strategist, right? Helping you get your job. So the burnout for me, the burnout wasn't being stressed out at work. The burnout was only having one source of income. And this week at this past the ATL HR conference takeover, there was an event on one of the days held by a group called Black in HR. And there was a young lady, forgive me for forgetting your name. I will go look and give you credits in the comments after. But she said something. She said, companies don't just have one client. Why should you only have one revenue of income? And that really resonated with me, right? So if companies, they can't survive off of just one client, how can you be expected to survive off of just one stream of income, right? Then that stream of income, then that stream of income has control over you, right? You have no freedom. So without going too deep into that, we'll keep going. But that was a major burnout for me, is supporting my family. I was being burnt out trying to support my family. So I needed another stream of income, which is where the job father came from, and which is where the initiative and the hustle to hurry up and get this brand created and out there came from. All right. So
sorry, I had to put this.
Go ahead. Very job. Thanks, Scott.
Scott said hiring managers, the psychometric thing, use them often to know what's real for the person and go beyond talk. Individuals use them for clarity and confidence with true north in mind. We often embed results for how they do things, what motivates them, and what their top skills, talents, or genius is. It does great work for a person to best gain favorable attention to get to the interviews that they want. And to create certainty of a great fit to shorten interview cycles and grab more offers, and the ability to best negotiate for a role where they are a proven great fit. Had to ask as to how we create the most interview snipers. I really love this comment.
I love that
So
too, Scott. Thanks a lot. Anybody watching, go ahead and give Scott a follow. Look into what he's doing. He's a great guy. I can't remember if he's career coaching or if he's helping HR teams and hiring teams better and more effectively and efficiently hire. So thanks, Scott, for that.
Thank you, Scott. I am also trying to be more interactive and engaged with our audience. I'm running into some technical snafus with opening the LinkedIn event. So I will respond directly during the live. But thank you for those that are commenting. And feel free to comment, even if you're on X and YouTube, we can see it. Thank you. Keep going, Justin.
And again, thank you so much, Scott. So reframing burnout, right? So burnout signals misalignment between personal values, goals, and career paths rather than failure. It's not just about your failing, it's just that misalignment, which we spoke about. It can also be used as a catalyst, right? It can spark the change and growth, encourage new perspectives on career and life. Like I said, that burnout was a catalyst. My financial burnout, even though I was working very hard with that one stream of income, it was a catalyst for the Job Father and for me to make it an actual thing instead of me just helping my friends. That was my burnout moment was the catalyst for my change. Okay, so think to yourself, what is your burnout moment? Identify that so you can use it to start to move forward. And then outgrowing your job titles, right? Individuals can outgrow static career identities, promoting self-reflection and evolution. And that's something Netta spoke to a little bit earlier. Okay. Go ahead.
Can I add something here?
Of course.
I made a post on X a few days ago and on Friday. And this is something someone told me that, I really still to this day, hopefully we can connect again. He said, and I'm trying to find it, the most successful people are the ones that enjoy their time alone. It took me 12 years to really understand that. Because sometimes people tell you things, it's true, but it takes 12 years for it to sink in.
Say that again one more time, please, Netta.
The most successful people in life are the ones who enjoy their time, who enjoy spending time alone by themselves. So learn. This applies to anyone, no matter what their age is. And I was talking about this in a space right before we started the live stream is please learn to spend time with yourself and enjoy the time. When you do check-ins with yourself and your inner child, you prevent a lot of these things.
I
Learn to check in, you know, introspectives on where your life is going, the direction that you're taking. Learn to take the feedback you're getting from people and to actually it took me 12 years for that for that statement to sink in. Why? Let me be honest. I don't spend enough time by myself. You can spend time with yourself and scroll social media and look at Netflix. I'm not talking about that. No, 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 no. Spend time with yourself to if you're sitting down with your friend and having a coffee and you're really paying attention to them and to their needs or with your partner, you're giving time like you really are spending time with someone and you're processing what they're telling you and you're engaging back. You can do that with yourself too. Because if you don't, the consequence is burnout, misalignment, and so many other things. So take that time. You need it. It's a must. Let's keep going, Justin. Thank you.
I have nothing else to add on top of that. Thank you for that share. That was
My pleasure.
amazing. Okay. Nope, that was perfect. Okay. Self-awareness for reinvention. That just exactly what Netta just said, right?
There you go.
You can read the rest of it, but what she said speaks to that. Self-awareness for your reinvention. Okay. Wow, that was really amazing. So what do we need to do? We need to make some shifts in our mindset, right? Okay, we want to leverage experience and insights. We want to, bear with me, guys. Well, I don't know what's happening. There we go. Sorry. We're dealing with the difficulty.
There we go. Perfect.
We're dealing with it, guys, but no, mind you, thank you guys for your patience, right? So if your identity is tied to your job, reinvention will feel like grief. And that's okay. If that's you, it's okay. It's okay to grieve for a moment. Just don't let it hold you down. But you need to make some shifts in your mindset. That's leverage experience and insights, right? Career reinvention builds on acclimated experience and insights, not starting from scratch. Okay, so you're not starting from scratch when you do this. All right. Confidence over qualifications. Self-belief and personal branding matters more than formal qualifications in today's market. Okay, so confidence over qualifications. Are you confident in yourself? right? Understand who you are, what you've done so far, to be able to leverage that experience and insights to build your confidence over your qualifications. And then you need to have, oh, I have that twice, forgive me, guys. Then you need to adopt a growth mindset, right? Embracing a growth mindset empowers pursuit of new opportunities with clarity and conviction. And what I did leave out here was value progress over perfection. That is very important. Progress over perfection. Just like today, we're starting out something new with this format of going through this PowerPoint. It's not perfect, but it's progress. And the more we show up, the more you show up, the better you will be. Anything to add on top of that, Netta?
Oh, a ton.
Go
A
ahead.
ton. All right. And I want our audience to engage. You are a part of this discussion. I know it's not an X space and you can't jump up and speak, but you're a part of the discussion. So I would like to see more comments. Please, what are your thoughts? What are your shares? We will share them on the screen. So let's start. Leverage experience and insights. You want to start with the cup full. Why I say that? You're burnt out. You're probably not feeling good about yourself. You're probably doubting everything about yourself, right? I've been there. Job loss, layoff, some of us got fired. It's a part of it. It's a part of the game. It's a part of life. It's a part of growth, right? You need to start with what you have, and that requires you to sit down with yourself and do a brain dump. There's a great book that I will recommend also if you're seeking to rebrand yourself, and I'm not paid to actually recommend it. I absolutely love the author. Her name is Kanika Tolver, and Kanika, Tolver, Tolver. It's called The Career Rehab. You can download it and read it on Kindle, or you can buy a physical copy. Really great book. So one of the steps is do a brain dump of all your qualifications, all of your assets, like, I mean, certifications, qualifications, everything. Look within yourself, and please do that with compassion and kindness. And look from outside. Ask. Ask people. Ask 5 people. I had a coach, he said, look at ask 5 people that you know and trust about what they know you as and start looking for themes. I went and asked 9 people. You start noticing trends after 5. That is raw data that you can use for your brand. And when you start noticing patterns about what you're good at and what people are saying, what you look at within yourself and what you get from the outside world, you make a match. It's like a marriage. That is going to give you a boost in feeling good about yourself. That's when the self belief will come in. And you need, like, I will say, I've been there. I've lost my job. I've been fired. I've been laid off. And it weighs down on you. And Justin was talking earlier about taking time to grieve the loss. So take that as well. Take that time because that could result in panic attacks, that could result in depression. And I don't want to trigger anyone, but that could lead to a very dark path. So please take the time to do that. Seek support, seek professional help if you need, and then start doing all the other things that we are talking about now. That should be a part. I wish it was a part of the slide, but take time to grieve. Take time for that mindset shift because that's the prerequisite. Um, okay. So then you have your confidence hopefully restored. Hopefully you have self-compassion. You're doing this with a group. Do it with a support system. Justin, I'm sure you didn't go through this journey alone. It's a journey. It's beautiful,
Yeah,
right?
no, I've been going
How
through
was
this
it for
journey.
you? How was it for our audience?
Yeah,
Engage
listen.
with us.
So she's absolutely correct, and I didn't start getting support until January of this year. Before then, I was trying to do it on my own. As I go back and look at stuff from a year or two ago, as a year and a half ago, as the job father, it's just like, oh, what was I doing? But as I started to be around the community, like Bez, who's been on the live with us plenty of times, who's connected me with Netta. Netta
Yes.
connected me with the Hunt. Hunt connected me with Sean Charles and Justin and the Startup Circle and
Yes.
Andy. Andy, I can't say his last name. Warhol.
Virgodol.
Virgadol. Sorry about that.
Oh, what a phenomenal person. He's
So Andy
amazing.
and Justin, they're great. I can't shout them out enough. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you've seen me post both of them. But my community has been great, and they have lifted me up when I felt not confident about my skill sets. They lift me up without even knowing. Being in a community allows, like Netta said, I didn't directly ask 5 or more people about what my strengths are, but being in these communities and just showing up and starting with value over perfection, with valuing progress over perfection, I got feedback. And as I started to get good feedback, I started to feel myself a little more and more and more. So in the audience, you are enough. You are great. So tell me about a time in the audience, if you've had just an aha moment where you finally figured out I am great at what I do and what I'm looking to do. Just type me in the comments, right? Just give us a like.
Yeah,
Type
do it.
give
Don't be
us something.
shy.
Don't
We
be
won't
shy. Just say
bite.
you. Tell us your story, right? But it's not just about Netta and myself. It's about all of us as a community. But to answer your question, Netta, I did not do it alone. It took my community. And here's something else. It took me finding a community of people who did not know me personally, right? I'm a
Mhm.
Christian, so
That
even
hits
like
home.
exactly
It
like
it People that didn't know you personally, that's smart because that shows that they're impartial. They're not gonna give you fluffy, subjective, good feelings, good vibes. Yes, that's needed from time to time, but I believe in the importance of being with people. Sometimes connecting with people that don't know you can also help. Like, for example, on X, you can go in a space, speak a few times, and ask. X is social audio rooms on spaces are social audio rooms on X. But just wanted to kind of, give that context. You can go there and talk, and 2 times, 3 times, people will remember you, especially in smaller rooms, and be like, "Okay, what do you remember me by?" Period.
yes, and even just like I always talk about the Bible, I'm not ashamed of it. So, but I'm not going to go too deep. But just like the Bible says, a prophet is less received in his own home, right? So, not that they are just trying to flatter you, but sometimes people can't see past who you were, right? They can't see the future that you see for yourself. So you need to have a community of people. Start finding a community of people that don't know you personally or your past. Not saying that your past was bad. It's not about that. It's just sometimes people can't take you out of the box that they've put you in. So reinventing yourself and stepping into new communities of people who don't know that old self, they're just seeing you for who you're becoming is really helpful. I'm not saying just get rid of people who know you, but it is very crucial to also start joining communities of people that don't know you so that you can reinvent
Mhm.
yourself. Go ahead, Netta.
I'm gonna say something else. So I mentioned this in the previous live stream that I'll put back, but last Friday, I saw a post from Vinod Sharma, who's one of our moderators on Unfeathered on X. Phenomenal builder. Give him a follow. I think I need to like go back and find a way to post the LinkedIn's of all the people we're mentioning in this space to give them their flowers because they're amazing people. And he made a post on LinkedIn about how he's doing, creating content, and he's self-conscious of this and that and that and that and that. And I'm like, Vinod feels this way? But what I really impressed me about him is he's still showing up, right? Despite all the things that he's self-conscious about, that I hope that, what I said kind of alleviated some of his doubts, is despite, even me, my makeup isn't perfect. I'm actually looking at that right now, being very transparent, because it's not set, the pillows are not set the right way that I want. My background isn't perfect, and I'm so self-conscious of that. But I'm like, the live stream will go on. I made a live stream on X, not this Friday, the one before, to announce the spaces and the live streams for that respective week, and when the space ended, the live stream ended, I looked at my hair and there was a part of my hair that was sticking out. Like, I didn't look as polished as I do right now. I deleted it. This was the same day that Vinod made his post, and here I am preaching to people about progress over perfection, and you know, I deleted a live stream and I felt like a total hypocrite. So I relaunched another live stream, called myself out in public, but community is really important because Justin, you and I are community leaders, right? We're growing a community together. And if you're a community leader and you're going through this, the self-doubt, all of that rebrand and that will creep in. Please know one thing, that you are representing a community and there are actual people that look up to you. Not adding that additional pressure on anyone, but please know that that is a reality. So as a community leader, uh I redid the live stream. I'm like, I can't be telling people progress over perfection and I let a little piece of hair sticking out, absolutely ridiculous as it is now that I think of it, get the best of me and take over, right? So don't let your doubts creep in,
Don't,
please.
yes, that, and I'll be transparent as
Yeah,
well. So for those
for
of you who
sure.
may not know, I tore my Achilles recently, and I don't have crutches. I have something else. It's like a doohickey that you attach to your thigh, and it kind of replaces the bottom part of your leg, so I can walk without crutches. But I was self if so, and also if you don't know, I'm a fitness trainer. So not being able to work out over the last month, I've lost weight. So when it came to going to this in-person conference last week, I was very self-conscious about my size, rather, even though these people never saw me when I'm fully in shape. But more importantly, I was more self-conscious about my leg. And let me tell you, I'm so glad that I went anyway, because that the thing on my leg ended up being such a conversation starter that everybody came up to me, and that's the, hey, what happened to your leg? I tell that story, and then it's, okay, let's talk, let's network, right? So if I would have stayed home because I was embarrassed about my leg, I would have missed out on hundreds of networking opportunities, right?
Yeah, and I've noticed some growth about you because after you came back, we had a one-on-one conversation and you're leading some other community events efforts. So I just want to say, in public, I am so proud of you, Justin. Watching your growth over the past few months has been incredible. And yeah, you
Thank
have
you.
you have growth, you have mindset shifts and confidence confidence over your qualifications. And I think that we could spend a lot of time on this slide. I just wanted to like talk about an article I wrote if that's okay because it kind of connects to
Yep.
do you mind clicking on that link? It's in our chat and sharing the screen very briefly, if that's okay with you? Because I just wanted to briefly connect, talk about that. It's in my LinkedIn profile. It's in the spotlight. If you don't mind, if it's
Hold on.
not too,
I don't mind, but the chat is not showing up on my side. Do you mind sending that to me on LinkedIn Messenger, and then I'll go ahead and do that?
yeah, sure,
The
of course.
restream chat is not
So
showing up on
while we're there, you go. So I shared it with you in the chat here in the live stream, or I could share it with you
I
on
have it.
LinkedIn.
1 second.
Thank you, Justin.
Of
So
course.
earlier, and while Justin is loading this up, I'll give you all context so to save some time. Earlier, I talked about the importance of spending time with yourself and rebranding. If you are rebranding, you must do this exercise. Full credit goes
Hey,
to
I'm
Rich
sorry to interrupt.
Sanchez.
I didn't get that message in LinkedIn.
Oh, sorry. I thought I shared it here and it would be good. Okay, I'll share it with you on LinkedIn and see. There we go. It's set now.
Got
Please
it.
check. Thank you so much, Justin. All right, so the article is up. It's sure slowly loading,
Give
but this
us.
article inspired by one of my former mentors, Rich Sanchez, product manager of Product Fit, and I worked along his side for a few months. Now, one of the things that he taught us, and it was used for this article, was to write your story bank. Take time, and in this article, although it's about crafting your a compelling elevator pitch, the input that you give is really how it's going to help you craft your elevator pitch and also get direction for your brand. One of the things, and I said intentional here, is self-discovery exercise. Sit down with yourself. If you can please go down a little bit.
Yep.
All
Just
right,
tell me what to
here you
do and
go.
I'll do it.
This part, just here. Just a little bit more. Here you go. A little bit. There, perfect, perfect. Here. The reason why I'm saying to sit down with yourself, grab a coffee, you're gonna probably cry because I did when I did this exercise, is sit down with yourself and imagine you're the author of your own biography. Go and write your stories. Write it down. And I'm not saying do however you can, but try to get this in writing. You will recognize all the things here: your core values, your patterns in your decision making, your strengths. It'll help you answer behavioral questions. Enhance your personal brand and so on and so forth. But you get to know yourself. You have so much more awareness about the person that you are. And if you are struggling and you are burnt out because of that cognitive load, because you are lost, this self-awareness exercise is like aloe vera to a pain, or the Tylenol to your pain, or to your cognitive load and to your burnout. You need to find direction, and this is going to help you. You can also take the information that you have from here and take it to your therapist, because this is data that they could use to help you if you're seeking professional help. There's so much you could do with this. You can even use it to answer interview questions. You can use examples from your personal life to answer behavioral questions. Justin, as a recruiter, please back me up on that. And I just wanted to quickly acknowledge Ali Imran, who said hi to us. Hello, Ali.
Hi, Ali.
It was
No,
nice
I
to
bet.
meet you in this space earlier.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely spot on. As a recruiter, I back everything you're saying. I don't have you spot on, nothing to add. It's just that I support you. You're spot on with that.
Thank you. All
Mhm.
right, we can go back to the slide. I will share the link to this article for anyone who's wondering. We're going to write an article about this entire live stream later on this week, but we're going to share the links to the people that we talked about. We're going to share the links to this slide that Justin so kindly created for us today. Thank you, Justin.
No
And
worries.
just so you don't miss the conversation, we're going to talk about the back and forth that we had as well. So stay
Uh,
tuned for that.
All
Please
right,
continue.
guys. So listen, Netta and I, we always do this, right? We get so excited. We talk. We have this fireside chat. This next portion is kind of the portion that is going to help you guys as viewers. So I'm going to move a little quicker through it so we can get through it to respect you guys' time. Okay. Now, of course, if better conversation comes up, please, we will definitely attack that and just chop this into a 2-part series. Okay. But just
I
wanted to.
think we're gonna do that if you're okay with it,
Um,
because this is the meat of the conversation,
yeah.
and we've been kind of like building up to this. So if
Yes.
you're open to it, Justin, I'm totally down for a part two series, but I'll leave that just we'll see how far we get today.
All right,
Keep
let's
going.
go. So, reinventing your brand online, right? So, say if you're a school teacher, I get a lot of this. A lot of school teachers want to become, or not want to, they get burned out and they want to transition to PM, like to a project manager role, right? So, when you're reinventing your brand online, the first thing you want to do is refresh the LinkedIn about section, okay? Update that about section to clearly reflect your current goals and personal narrative for authenticity. Don't focus on what you've done in the past. Okay, I see a lot of my clients doing this incorrectly. You focus your about section about what you've been doing. Your about section needs to be about who you are and what your active current goals are. Okay. And then you want to share your learning journey, right? Demonstrate growth and adaptability by sharing your learning experiences and career development online. That's exactly what Netta and I are doing today. We're sharing our learning journey. Okay. And then you want to curate your content before creating it. Okay. When you're trying to build credibility in a space where you're not known yet, Don't feel pressure to be the genius with all of the answers, right? Instead, be that signal booster, be the translator, be the connector of dots. Okay. So the first step you want to do is find the gold. Okay. Find the gold. Start reading and collecting. You want to start reading and collecting LinkedIn posts from experts in your new field, industry newsletters or trend reports, YouTube videos or podcast clips that resonate, and even posts that made you say, damn, that's good. Excuse my language, but you do come across some posts like that, right? Okay. That's step one. Step two is that you want to share it with context. Share it with context. Excuse me. Here's what most people do wrong. They repost something with no voice. That's absolutely lazy, and that's just noise added to the LinkedIn world. Okay. You want to add your take. Here's why this hits home. This line flipped how I see career transitions. If you're pivoting into UX, this explains why storytelling is greater than portfolios. Okay. So now you're not
Oh,
just,
yes.
yeah. So
Please
go
do.
ahead, Ned. I'm sorry.
Well, I can say so much about this, but I would love for you to like continue. I'm sorry for barging in,
No
but I
worries.
did message you a link on LinkedIn. Would love to, if you don't mind, for us to share that afterwards because I have so much to say and I could go on a whole spiel, but I don't want to interrupt your train of thought. But please
No,
continue.
no worries.
Phenomenal, phenomenal content you're
So
talking about.
so after you add your take, now you're not just sharing or reposting, you're positioning yourself as someone who gets it. Not as that expert or genius, but as someone who gets it. Okay. And then step three, let it guide your content. So after curating for a few weeks, and remember, for a few weeks, not just, oh, do that for 2 days and then automatically you do this next step. After you do that for a few weeks, you will notice what content your audience engages with, what topics you feel pulled to talk about, and where your unique voice fits in. And that last one is very important, figuring that out. All right. That's when you start creating your own content with confidence, clarity, and most importantly, momentum.
Yes, and this is the part of margin.
Go ahead.
I believe that before even going, like, there should be a slide in between the previous and this one.
Okay.
Take the data that people gave you about what you're good at, and your qualifications. I said earlier in the live stream that this is a marriage.
Mm,
All right. And use that article that I shared in my LinkedIn. It's the first article in my LinkedIn profile, as well as a guide.
mhm,
Rebranding is not easy because you have so many sides to yourself that you don't know what to share. And that is a cognitive load in itself.
mm,
For
mm.
example, myself, project management, event program management, release management, ancient history enthusiast, community leader. Apparently, a lot of the things that I'm doing at the hunt is DevRel.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things that I could talk about. But being someone that has many interests, and I think that as a human, we want to humanize ourselves even more than ever with all of this AI out there. What part do you choose to use to reinvent yourself? Because people, there's 8 billion people on the planet. And when I have people coming on the hunt and pitching themselves, I literally very bluntly yesterday told someone, why you? What makes you so special? Why you? Sit down with yourself. And that's the exercise. You need to sit down with yourself, have a coffee, and be like, why me? What sets me apart? And all the data that you do in the first exercise, where I said, do all of that dump of what you're good at, that self introspective, taking the data from the outside world and putting it in, that's a part of that exercise. Andy Vergadal, that I would absolutely love to have on this live stream, including Justin Results French, also known as the Revenue Ronin, two people that Justin recognized, and I would love to have them, if and I'm sure Justin would love as well. They are on point with marketing and branding, both of them, and they have their own live streams, by the way, as well. Um, they actually guided me, and I realized that one of the things that they have said, and one of the things that they have, it helped me is be known for one thing. One thing. Okay, that's two things. One thing. Find out what that is, get feedback from others, but make sure you're known for one thing. People can remember you for one thing, but if you want to be known for six things, you're doing yourself and your brand a disservice because you'll seem as someone who is all over the place.
Yes,
One
absolutely.
thing. And what Justin is talking about, it takes pivots, it takes testing, it takes curation, and this is a part of that reinvention. But one thing, not
Mhm.
more. And as you start building those relationships and you start connecting with people, people feel more comfortable being around you and engaging with you. That's when you can start telling people about one thing being two things or three things. Now, the other thing I also want to add is that if you are someone that if you do that exercise of I'll just give an example of, I don't know, someone who wants to be known as an event program manager. An event program manager, there's things associated with it. You can take your interests and find an overarching theme or job title and make sure people know you as that one thing. An event program manager, there are several things that go with it. Community leader could be one. Um, Someone who curates experiences, designs experiences, someone who organizes events, communities, who's a project manager, and all of the other things, subsets of things that goes with it. Try to find an overarching theme that will kind of like connect all your other interests together. And for example, in my previous branding, I said I'm a connector. And if you look, I'll try to find a connector of people, communities, and ideas. Find a statement that is yours, that is true, and that people can relate to. And there's something else I wanted to add, and I forgot, but do you mind also going to your LinkedIn and sharing, if you don't mind, Justin, a post? Because it's relevant to this slide, please. From
Yes,
Jared Liu.
yeah, I think it may be best for the next slide. So give me a second.
Yes, let's go to the next one, and I think we are probably gonna do this in a part 2
No,
live
but
stream.
I am going to end with Jared's post. I saw it. I'm going to add it on here.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So the bottom line: curation builds confidence. Creation builds authority. Curation builds confidence. Creation builds authority. All right. But if you try to create without curating first, you're guessing, and guessing that is not strategy. Okay. Forget
Yeah, that's what I
strategy.
wanted to say. Well
Guessing,
said, well said.
guessing is not strategy. So until you find your voice, borrow the mic. Just make sure you add your own flavor when you pass it on. Okay. And go to the next slide.
Read my mind, I love it.
All right.
Love
Build
it.
authority without imposter syndrome. Okay. Oops, sorry. Uh-oh. Having that issue again. There we go. Okay. Importance of authenticity over performative personal branding. I'm going to stop here, and because we have enough for another show after this point, but what I do want to do is go ahead and show what Netta sent. Okay, so Netta, go ahead and talk through this.
Yes, this kind of connects to what you were talking about building in public earlier. And I
Uh-huh.
also wrote an article from inspired, and all credit goes to Aaron Francis, who gave the keynote speech day 2 at the Commit Your Code conference around building in public and finding your voice and doing it despite all the the imperfections, or progress over perfection. Jared Liu is actually one of our former guests who appeared on our live stream. Jason, Justin, you royally messed up, by the way.
I know I saw it was
But
amazing live.
oh, he is, and he's even open to coming back. So whenever he finds the time, we would love to have you back, Jared. Jared has been posting content since 2007, and he is my AI video and image generation instructor. Yeah, self-taught, grows communities, and he shared his entire story with us on this live stream. And he he has been sharing very publicly imperfections, but he's been focusing on progress. Like, even though something wasn't perfect, he still continued. There you go. So he talked about complex topics, he talked about his journey, and what he does actually is that he uses different tools for AI and image video generation. He dabbles with it and he gives his take. He creates like content, he gives his feedback, and he's pretty much an instructor and shows people how it's done. Despite, as he said, all the technical barriers and everything that he's faced, he still does it consistently and with so much love and passion because people can see that. People can
Mhm,
see if Justin and I are enjoying doing a live stream together. People sense that chemistry, that
mhm.
authenticity that he was talking about. And he said some right here. Our uniqueness is the most important aspect moving forward, especially for our career. Our CVs, cover letters, and references need to be matched with practical examples of our work, broken down in a way which represents our skills best. For me, content creation shows all the facets of the things I am good at and love to do, and that's why I continue to push out so much. Jared, and I haven't asked him this question, but if he would love to, tell me, I am dying to know. But to me, I have a feeling that Jared sat down with himself and had that retrospective exercise of what he's good at, what he loves to do, and that's what we're having this space of this discussion about. Read it again. Our uniqueness is the most important aspect moving forward, especially for a career. He recognized his strengths. He recognized what makes him special. He embraced his talents. The CVs, the cover letters, and references, the receipts, basically, and that could also be include social proof, need to be matched with practical examples of our work. So he walks the talk. He's shown proof of his talents and his abilities. And he's done it enough times that he's getting collaborations and partnerships, such as Adobe Firefly, such as FreePick, and very soon other companies and partnerships. And he is building his portfolio in public, jaredlu.com. Once again, I'm not paid to do this. I just absolutely love that he is so open and an example of building in public. He's doing it, he's walking the talk, and people are coming to him. That's the result of hard work, time, and doing what you love is these collaborations and these opportunities. The most important thing is to not give up, especially when you don't see the numbers that you expected and you don't see the likes. You have to continue because if you stop, that's you giving up on your dreams and your aspirations and the goals that you have set for yourself. Justin, I'm done for today. Please
No,
continue. I'm
no
sorry.
worries. So listen, guys, I'm always excited about these things, and I'm so excited that this is split into two session parts now. I think we're at a great stopping point. We talked about some great things, and I gotta leave. We have to leave you on the hook to come back some more, right? So now sometimes Ned and I do pop-ups, right? So if we get this sometime this week, you will get a notification. We may not make you make the whole week, right? But what do we have left in part for part two? Authentic versus performative personal branding. Then we have how to speak with authority even before you feel 100% confident. And that will be it. But that's those two things alone are 30 minutes each for each section. So that will fill out the
And
next hour section.
and and we will try our best, not guarantees, but I would be so honored to have Justin, Jared,
Mhm.
and Andy here. If we could get Kanika Tolver and other folks that have been building, because Kanika's building in public,
Yeah.
seriously. She is a fierce woman and a force to reckon with. And the other thing I just wanted to announce, we are working towards. Justin, can you talk about what happened at that conference, the woman that you met, please?
Which one? Remind me, because I met a lot of people. I don't remember which story. Tell me, give me a.
Remember we talked about having a live stream and bringing women in and talking about empowering women?
Yes, 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 yes. So women, not just one. So I did go
Yeah.
to a conference, but input during this conference, this was a totally separate event. But I did meet a lot of great women because I know you guys are watching from the ATL HR conference. All of you women are amazing, and I have reached out to some of you to kind of join the live. But specifically, what Netta is talking about, I recently became a member of something called the Gathering Spot. It is a professional private club, right, based here in Georgia. They have clubs here in Georgia, DC, and LA, founded by two of my former classmates at Georgetown University. You guys are both doing great things. The Gathering Spot, if you get a chance, look it up. Either way, what they did was they called out, they noticed that this year alone, over 300,000 women have been laid off. 300,000. And that's just Black women. That's not including all races. So if the Black women demographic is only 300,000, think how much that number goes up when you include all women, right? It's probably in the
Such
millions.
a huge number. My God.
Right. So, and in order to help combat that as a community, what they did was they did something called 300 strong at each of their in each of their cities. Right. So I went to basically 300 strong is 150 givers, meaning if you had a job to offer, career advice, or just mentoring, and then they had 150 seekers, right, in this event. So you went to this event, and it was kind of like speed dating for career coaching from my end. I sat at a table and I offered my free career coaching advice as well as some free services afterwards. But even though I went as a giver, the motivation I received was finding out so many women were at VP and executive levels that have been laid off, right? And that their journey professionally has been amazing, working for major companies like BET, Viacom, Google, and yet they're still finding themselves being rejected. But they didn't show up with their head hung low. They showed up with their head held high, right? And that motivated me to say, Netta, we need to bring these women on to talk about their professional journey because I can't do their journey any justice, to be honest, right? Me trying to re-explain it because number one, I'm a man. So just to be honest, that's one thing I learned the most from that event at the Gathering Spot, which I was the only male to attend because it was for women. But I said, I'm a giver, so I'm going to show up anyway. Right. I didn't sell anything. I gave everything away. But what I learned was I'm a man and that there's some things I just can't understand from a perspective as that professional women deal with on a daily basis, especially in this current climate. So what was empowering from these women was that their level of resilience, their level of professionalism, and their level of willingness to build each other up and carry them to their next roles, right? So I think if you're watching, any of you wonderful ladies that I met throughout the last week, and you want to share your journey, Netta has a wonderful journey, but again, sometimes we need more. Also, I just realized we haven't had any other women come co-host. So
Yes. So we need that. And I I'm also going to do my part and reach out to the wonderful women. I'm not a mother. I'm an auntie. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter,
mhm,
but I'm not a mother. So I think that we need to get, it's not a think, we must bring other women in this community to talk about their journey, especially share their struggles and how they overcame it. Because, you know, this comment really, really, just this session alone, it's been, thank you, Ali, for the kind words, quite
thank you,
useful,
Ali.
full of inspiration and ideas. We appreciate it. And I just wanted to also acknowledge Scott's comment about the previous things he said. That's why we use the tools. That's why
The why me
That's
part.
the why me part is based on objective information that can also be shared with the hiring managers and decision makers. Just to give context, that's when I was saying what makes you so special and why should people hire you in the personal branding part when you're doing your self
Mhm,
introspection. So, we definitely need to have these discussions. That's going to probably be 2 to 3 weeks from now. um, it takes time to find people from
mhm,
different parts of the world because, the people that Justin knows are primarily in the US, but I'm going to also do an outreach and hopefully find women that are in the Middle East or that are abroad that are also looking to share their perspectives. So, just wanted to kind of give you all, gents and ladies, a perspective or an idea of what's coming. The other thing we also wanted to share, we talked about community and we talked about the theme of unfeathered being rising together.
mhm.
Individually, you are each building your empire, right? You are building your brand, you are building yourself. No empire is built alone. If you look at ancient history, people built things together. So I was empowering Jared's brand, Andy, Kanika, Justin, the 2 Justins, Revenue Ronan Justin and this Justin in front of you.
Mhm.
Please support other people in the process. Support other communities because believe me, there are days we're all human. We're not at our best. We can use the support, a nudge in the right direction, check in on people. The other thing I wanted to say, and I won't take much more of your time, we talked earlier about unfeathered. We are very transparent about the direction we are going and where we are heading. Specifically, we are looking to build our LinkedIn and our YouTube accounts. If you are of here, we have a LinkedIn account. We would like to live stream from it. We need 150 followers minimum to be able to do that. We are trying to push more content on our LinkedIn community articles. We are looking for volunteers who can help us with the social media, with the content creation, thumbnails, reels, articles, so on and so forth. We are looking for people who can help us moderate, and I'll explain the moderation part in a moment. What you will get, Justin, can you please share what people will get? What's
Yes,
in it for them if they contribute and help out? Thank you.
really quick. Thank you, Miss Wright, for joining and for giving us a comment. Thank you very much. Also, congratulations on the TEDx. I see that you were killing it down there. Was it the third or fourth ward? Good stuff, Jessica.
Congratulations, Jessica.
Jessica, actually, Jessica, we will connect. We spoke about 2 months ago. You are somebody we definitely want on the show. So thank you so much. Scott, thank you so much for your interaction. And Ali, and everyone else, just thank you so much. But what will you get by helping us? A barter of services. You will get me as the job father, as your career coach strategist to help you with your any certain parts of your job search needs. Most importantly, you will get free access to my AI agent tool, the Job Father AI, which has helped over 120 people so far this year without my direct hands-on help land roles. So you will get something in return. It's a barter of services, but more importantly, you will get the opportunity to be a part of a community and help other people rise together. And you will be able to position yourself to figure out your superpower. If you're a job seeker, but you don't have experience in UI, UX, is it UI, UX? If you don't have experience
Yes.
in designing, use us. This is a community. Use us on your resume. Use us in your portfolio. You will get exposure, just like we're giving exposure to all of these brands. You will get that same type of exposure. And more importantly, you will just be blessed for being a blessing to others. We need your help.
Speaking of blessing, I sneezed.
Bless you.
Um, thank you. Other things you will get. You notice I drop names. I give people flowers when it's due, and anything that you do for Unfeathered belongs to you. We give you credit, we will mention you, and we will provide a LinkedIn recommendation. From the perspective of a hiring manager, and Justin, I know you're in touch with many,
Mhm.
please shed some light on how candidates are viewed when they volunteer, if you don't mind. Thank
Well,
you.
it when you volunteer from the view of the hiring manager, how that shows up is how your community starts to support you and speak up about you on LinkedIn, right? I'm talking about specifically LinkedIn. There's more avenues, right? But LinkedIn is where those employers who don't know you will get to see you. So when you do make it past the recruiter round and you get to the hiring manager round, guess what? They're going to look at your profile. They go to your activity section. Your activity section includes all the things that you're involved in community wise. Then when they click on that community, see all the high praises you're getting, the different products that you've provided, it gives them that understanding that you're a team member, a team player. It gives you an edge over other candidates because you have that
You
soft
have
skill.
receipts. You have
Exactly.
social proof.
Social proof, receipts, and also just that soft skill that you're willing to roll up your sleeves and help when necessary. No role is static nowadays.
Exactly.
Every role is evolving on a daily basis, and nobody wants somebody who's just going to come in and do one thing and not be flexible to help the team when needed. Okay.
The other thing I will say is we're showing up every week. We've been doing live streams every single week. It's been almost 2 months now.
Yeah, it
We
has.
haven't stopped. We're showing up despite the fact, and we're trying to sorry. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Sorry. Sniffles. It's the fall season in Montreal. We're showing up despite the fact that our LinkedIn community is far from perfect. So don't get me started with our YouTube, but we're looking to change that. So please help us out. I want to thank those that have volunteered so far. I have gathered your names. I will be creating a Google form with Justin and we'll be sending it out just to get a better idea of how you can help us. And we'll be, connecting and getting things moving. My LinkedIn messages are open. My X account is open if you want to reach out and offer to help. My only ask is if you can please put the word volunteer. That'll help me really organize things more and just make it more efficient. The other thing we wanted to say earlier is moderators. If you are looking to host spaces on X, please let us know. Would be interested to have more people hosting from the community, or you can drop your spaces in the comments of the community itself on X. What we are also looking to do long run, we are working towards that with Raul. Thank you, Raul, for your help. We are looking to take the career files off X and create a more one-on-one fireside chat like experience for our members. So if you are interested in moderating or being a part of that, we are in the early discussions, but please let us know. This requires time, this requires volunteers, and this requires people. So that's pretty much it for today. Thank you everyone for your time. We will see you next week.
Well, do you have
Part
any
2 of
final?
this
Do you have any
discussion.
final words on top of that, Netta?
Oh, I've said a lot today. I think
Okay.
I'm
Well,
done. 12:30 p.m. Eastern, though, is when we host.
no worries.
Justin, what about you? Any last words?
Yes, first, thank you so much to my co-host and co-founder of Unfeathered, Netta. You're amazing. You've helped me grow more than you know. You shout out everybody else, but guess what? Your name is always being mentioned in rooms that you're not in. You are the connector, and if you don't know her, give her a follow. Social proof is what we need as well as Justin, Netta, and Unfeathered. So if this was helpful to you in any way, repost, reshare the live, give us a follow. All right. Remember, if your back is against the if God is for you, who can be against you? When your back is against the wall, remember the times that he came through, because that is where your joy lives. You don't need permission to reinvent. You don't need perfection to be visible. And you sure as hell don't need a title to speak with authority. What you need is to show up like an offer as already has your name on it. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on another episode
Yes.
of part 2 of the Career Files.
We show up for you. We have given you information. We just hope at the end of the day, despite everything going on, you will show up for yourself. I hope that's the message that you can take away, despite all the imperfections, despite all the self doubt. Show up for you. Thank you for your time, everyone. We will see you next week. Part 2 of this discussion will be held next week.
See